Hey everybody, welcome to a video I usually do that's a Patreon exclusive, but this one was so much fun. It's here on the main channel because I got a friend with me. I got Matt Dennion with me.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm thrilled to be back here on the Mr. Multiverse channel. It's always a blast, and I was very excited when you asked me to come on and do this particular video.
Yeah, this is basically non-comic lineup. For those who don't know, non-comic lineup is where we take a comic book team and rebuild it with characters outside of comics, like characters from video games, anime, cartoons, manga, all of that good stuff. It's just no comic characters are allowed. That's really the only rule. So for this, it's going to be the classic supervillain team from DC Comics, reimagined, the Legion of Doom. So, yeah. So, I gave Matt a quick crash course on how this works, and Matt, since you are the guest, you can go first. Who you got as, our leader?
Alright, so for the leader, for, the, sort of filling the Lex Luthor role, I'm gonna go with another bald guy who's employed by numerous people and also has a criminal organization he's proven to run. How about Ernst Stavro Blofeld from the Bond series?
That's an interesting pick. I like that.
Yeah. You've been portrayed by numerous great actors, right? Donald Pleasence, Telly Savalas. So, anyone could work, but I can see some of those guys even playing a Lex Luthor, in the past. So I think that would be a good pick for there.
Yeah, I also see Blofeld in this version of the Legion of Doom. This is a guy you want to keep all these egos and other villains in check, and he's got a major power behind. He's got Spectre behind him.
Right. So he's got resources.
Yeah. So that's a really cool one. I will say though that I think Blofeld would, depending on who else is on this Legion of Doom team you've got, this one, Blofeld has got to watch his back, because now he's got some A-game villains who know how the game works. It's not I'm talking to Joe Schmo who I can just drop in a shark pit.
Right. We'll get to some of that. So, who do you got for that spot?
All right. So my leader of the Legion of Doom is All For One from My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay. It's a good one.
All For One, why? Because a lot of these guys on this team have got some serious firepower behind them. And All For One is intelligent, he's cunning, and also, you'd have to imagine, also, if any of these villains in my team try to step up to him, he's I take your power, bye.
Yes, yeah, I can see that. That's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah. He's just All For One is basically... All For One is basically Lex Luthor if he had a Mezo's power.
Yes, good call. I can see it.
Yeah. So, it's basically you step up, where you run the risk of losing your power in your life, dude. So, that's kind of the idea. So, who's next on your team?
Next, I went to my Solomon Grundy stand-in, and I think we've talked about this before. If they were doing an R-rated Solomon Grundy movie, I'm going with Victor Crowley from the Hatchet franchise. Have to be kind of caged up, you've seen Grundy in the past, maybe in the Stargirl TV series, because he's going to be just a wrecking ball that Blofeld lets loose. He's not going to get free reign. But if you want a powerhouse who's just merciless and vicious, and not a lot of intelligence, from the swamp, I feel like Victor Crowley's a good pick.
Yeah, I like that. It's someone you can just turn loose, right? It's someone you can just drop a bomb on your enemies and just be
yes,
kill them all.
Yes, yeah, that's a Victor Crowley. He's the go to DEFCON 4 thing for Blofeld. Let him go.
Yeah. So. All right, my next member, to kind of coincide with the Grundy idea, this is the big enforcer. This is we turn them loose to make everyone step in line. And that person, or rather creature, I should say, let me describe him for you. His teeth are like swords. His claws are like spears. His armor is like tenfold shield. His wings, a hurricane. And his breath, death The chiefest and greatest of all calamities, Smaug.
Smaug, good, cool pick, and intelligent too, which is interesting.
Yeah. Really, the only thing All for One needs to control Smaug is, here's all the gold.
True.
Yeah. Smaug is... this is the thing they would just turn loose. Like, if you don't want to play by our rules, Smaug, go deal with that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Sorry, I like to build it up. Sorry for...
No, my bad. I kept trying to cut you off, but that was a good build-up.
Yeah. You know, me, I'm always for the theatrics. Anyway.
Well, worse in this case.
Yeah. So there you go, Smaug. Who's next on your list, bro?
The next one I was looking at would be the character to fill Cheetah's spot. So somebody who can be vicious, can be stealthy when need be, maybe even like a little bit of a seductress. So I went with Irina Dubrovna from The Cat People, the old like 1950s movie where it's like hinted at that she's turning into a cat. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. And she leans more to her dark side as the story goes on.
I really like your picks because this is like you're going for like more like something like the Light from DC Comics, or like a more like stealthy in the like we're a shadow organization. I'm just like, yes, these guys are here to fuck you up. That's my but I really like that. I also really like that's such a deep cut too, dude.
Yeah, from a cool movie though. Have you ever seen the original, especially?
Yeah, the remake is all right.
It's all right. Yeah, it's not terrible. It's all right. But the original, it's a 40s, 50s movie. You're not getting the level of like gore and stuff you would in a modern day horror movie. But psychologically, it's very good, very well acted, very well directed.
Yeah, absolutely. So next on my list is Demona from Gargoyles.
Oh, okay, very good pick. Fills that same type of role.
Yeah, Demona, for her, she's immortal. She has endless amount of wealth, and she's also got a pretty good hand in magic.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think also, like, for her, even though a lot of these members are going to be human, some of them, it's going to be like the ends justify the means for joining this team. Because, like, I can't really... I've kind of learned I can't accomplish my goals on my own. Might as well run with a team for a bit.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Demona was definitely, like, she was the first thought on this team. So yeah, there you go. Matt, how about you? Your turn.
Alright, so this one took me a little bit of thinking, and it's a bit of a deep cut. And at first it might seem a little off character, but this, I think, would be set up sort of prior to this character's role in the movie that he would play a big part in. So in this case, I'm going to use for Black Manta as like an underwater specialist, Carter Blake from Deep Blue Sea, who is a character that Thomas Jane portrayed. In that film, it's suggested that he had a pretty shady past, and then like this is kind of like the only job he could get. So I feel like seeing a younger version of him, maybe this is where his shady past was operating in this like sort of clandestine organization.
I really like that. That's such a unique pick. I really like that idea. Also, the idea of like the Punisher was Black Manta. That's a funny idea.
Yeah. Yes. I like that part too.
I really like that, and also again, it goes back to your team being like stealth in the shadows. Blofeld, Blofeld is the undisputed leader of this team. Mine's just all like, we're all here to like bust your head in.
Right.
I love that. I love that. I really do love that. There's like we're having two different teams, compare and contrast. I really like that. So,
yeah, and two different angles we're going at it from, which is interesting. So.
Yeah. So I guess my next member of my team, this is going to be, I guess you could say, the Brainiac villain, and that's Vinjix from Power Rangers RPM.
Okay, yes, good pick. I considered that myself.
Vinjix, the reason why I picked Vinjix, and I know a lot of people are thinking maybe Xana from Code Lyoko. That's a little obvious. I like to change it up. Vinjix is literally, of all the Power Rangers villains, he won.
Yes.
And, like, the dude literally is Skynet. He literally,
yes.
Like, he's anything you know on the internet, it's his to know. And he's the digital, the digital help for this team. He is the one that is going to go into people's computers, turn on all the nukes, and just sit back and watch.
No, I like it. And like you said, probably the best Power Rangers villain in my opinion, because he won. You know, like they're basically just surviving after he won in RPM.
Yeah.
Do you want my pick for Brainiac? My Brainiac stand-in?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sure, I'll do that one next. I was going to go Agent Smith from The Matrix. Again, going with that stealthy type of thing. I'm going to assume Blofeld found some type of way to control him. I know it's a little time displaced in this case, but you want a guy who's cold and calculating the way that Brainiac would be, and just would not give a damn about what he's going to do to anybody. I feel like Agent Smith would be a good pick. Plus, Hugo Weaving's great in anything we see him in, pretty much. So to see him again would be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like that idea of having Smith, because it really does fill that niche of he's almost like a virus.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like that. All right, my next member of this team is going to be Salem from Ruby.
Oh, good pick.
If anyone could challenge All for One for leadership, it's her. But at the same time, she's got the Grimm, she's got her own set of warriors to back her up, and she's essentially unkillable. If anyone was to usurp All for One, it's probably going to be her of all people. She's almost like Darkseid in a way, and it sucks that in the both DC Ruby crossovers we never got Salem and Darkseid meeting.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with that, actually.
Yeah, just a side note that neither of those crossovers were amazing, and you also missed that spot.
Yeah, they were okay, but yeah, neither one was fantastic, and that would have been a good one to do. I don't want to get too much of a tangent, but the villains they went with that were weird, I thought.
Yeah, I think honestly when they in the movies when they picked Kilgore of all villains, why didn't you just go with Brainiac? It would have made more sense. And also having Watts, I guess that was more to finish Watts' story, because people were so mad that they thought he got killed off in such a bitch way at the end of the season they thought he died in.
Yeah. Well, we can talk more about that on a different video, like you said.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Tangent.
No sweat. All right. So now I was going to go with my Gorilla Grodd stand-in, if that's cool. So I was going to go with the lead monster, I guess is the way to put it, from Primal Rage. Not the video game, but the 2018 movie where they're very sentient Bigfoots that are sort of tearing people apart. Because I was thinking, all right, this goes with the Gorilla City type of thing, where these Bigfoots definitely have their own society. I could see where they want to cut out a niche for themselves in a society. So if Blofeld was able to somehow, interact with these things to get their leader on board with him, could fill that role of somebody who's got, I don't want to say it's necessarily an army, but certainly a group of simian-like beasts on his side. And if you've seen Primal Rage, you know that those Bigfoots are very intelligent. They're not just mindless beasts going around. They're wearing wood armor and hunting people and using bows and arrows, and very, very violent. So that's going to be my Gorilla Grodd stand-in.
Yeah. That's another cool pick. I really it's a neat idea because the idea of Blofeld working with a Bigfoot is kind of funny in its own right, but but at the same time, I could see him being used as one of a Spectre agent.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, all my stuff is kind of thought about if this is a revamped Spectre almost too. So. Yeah.
No, I like that. So right. So my next pick for this team is gonna be Kazuya Mishima from Tekken.
Oh, okay.
Kazuya is an excellent fighter. He's got the devil gene, but I think people forget how powerful the Mishima Zaibatsu is. It's said to be rivaling most governments.
Yeah.
So Kazuya, he's the money guy. He's the guy who's going to be funding this group. money is no object to him or no concern. And plus, like, I'm sure the only reason he joined is because All for One came to him and said, "Hey, I'm going to help you kill your son. You want to join?" Yeah, okay.
I can see that. I like that pick. Yours is a very, you're right, like beat their brains and take over the world. I like it, type of feel to them, which is cool. Because you do kind of have to figure out what the end game is going to be for a team before you put it together, right? So, like, that's why it's coming together in different ways.
Yeah. My whole thing is, like how I could imagine these guys, especially these personalities coming together, is like All for One is just like, all right, Villain League didn't work. I'm going to have to work with people who are just as smart as me rather than work with people who are dumber. So I'm going to have to make my own little think tank here. And it's very much like the running theme of all these villains together is very much like we couldn't kill the heroes ourselves no matter how smart we were. So we might as well make like a think tank of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so my next pick is going to be a semi-scarecrow stand-in. This one might take a little bit of explaining, but I'm going to go with Dr. Satan from Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses.
I like that.
Yeah, because clearly he's scaring the hell out of people and, sort of operating on him. But his whole section of the movie is very ambiguous. You're like, did that really happen? Is this the Firefly family in disguise? Is this person like the lead character experiencing some kind of breakdown in these chambers? So I always kind of had it, in my head where perhaps Dr. Satan was as interested in fear as anything. I'd say, as opposed to just like mutilation, because he does obviously try to scare the hell out of people. So I feel like he would be the type of mad scientist type thing that a Blofeld would recruit anyway, because he can also build, like cybernetically enhanced warriors and stuff like that, but certainly get a thrill out of scaring people when he's doing so as well, I feel like.
Yeah, I really like that. And also the money that Spectre could give Dr. Satan to make even more... Like, it'd be some Resident Evil shit.
Yes. Yeah, because before he'd just be operating on whatever he could find. In this case, it would be, the multi-billion-dollar corporation that Spectre would be. Yeah.
All right. So my final member to this team is kind of like the Dr. Satan comparison, but on like a much bigger level. Albert Wesker from Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wesker has the Umbrella Corporation. He's got millions of dollars that he's got back behind him. And really think about the horrors that he could unleash with the funding from the Mishima Zaibatsu, the magic Demona has, and even make like Grimm with the T-virus in it, thanks to Salem.
Oh, yeah, you can do some really interesting stuff with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Wesker in his own right is fast, he's super strong, excellent fighter, has regenerative abilities, and yeah, he can just drop a tyrant on your house and call it a day.
Yeah, for sure.
Not to mention, now that they have Smaug on this team, imagine the monsters Umbrella Corporation could do with Dragon DNA.
Oh, yeah, God. I mean, it's just all kinds of cool stuff you can see coming from there. Let alone, like you said, without Demona and Salem and, those other guys pitching in as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's my team. Who's your, how many members you got left?
I've got one more pick. This one was, I tried to think of somebody who fit, the Legion of Doom has like a lot of rotating members. So I looked in that like Riddler, Joker, Toyman area, and this one there's already been a lot of comparisons to, but I went with Jigsaw from the Saw series. If you've seen the Batman, you can see a lot of like Jigsaw in the way that the Riddler's portrayed in there, obviously. But I thought he would be cool again. This is like a covert team, so if they did commit a crime somewhere or something, and they wanted to keep whoever it is, like Bond or whoever is finding out what they're doing, I felt like having a Jigsaw on the team to set traps and stuff would be a pretty, like Blofeld-y thing to do.
Yeah.
So
the only thing I'd say is that it wouldn't be John Kramer.
No, I'd be fine with Tony, what's her face, Smith, like kind of picking up that role too. It's fine.
Yeah, I was just I was thinking like Jigsaw's a really good pick, but like there's no way Kramer would ally himself with someone like Blofeld.
No, he wouldn't do that. So, but the Jigsaw name sort of and modus operandi is what I'd be going for here.
Yeah, although I will say if there was any like legit Jigsaw who'd probably join Blofeld, it'd probably be Hoffman.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Matt, I really love the creativity of your team. It was awesome. It was very low level, very like we're in the shadows. And Blofeld is calling the shots. Mine's just like we're here to conquer the world or burn it to the ground.
Yeah. Well, we said two different means ends that we were going through, so they would need different means to get there. But this was fun to do. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Really, it was really cool. It was nice to do this. This is the first time I've done this with a collaboration, and this would be kind of like maybe do this in the future. Maybe have some other guest stars. Maybe make those like on Patreon exclusively. This one's gonna go on YouTube. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. So Matt, where can the good people of YouTube find you?
Oh, you guys can find me on Facebook at Matthew Dennion. You can find me on Twitter or X, whatever it is, at PASC_PaskMatt1. And you can always find all my books on Amazon.
All right. Well, you guys tell us in the comments below what would be your non-comic lineup for Legion of Doom. Just comment below, let us know. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.